My name is Chris Packham. I'm a naturalist and often broadcaster for the BBC. I've written a couple of books recently and I've come to the festival to talk about them. The first is Amazing Animal Journeys. It's a book for young people, illustrated. It's about migration, of course, and I gave a talk about that this morning, well attended, and lots of young people there getting excited about animals moving around the planet, which is good. I've also written another book, a memoir, about my life between 6 and 16 and how I developed a fascination for wildlife, and also grappled at that time to understand the role that death plays in life as well. And I'll be talking about that a bit later on this afternoon. I think coming to festivals from my point of view is about meeting your audience, and for so much of the time, whether I'm working as a broadcaster or writing, it's fairly isolated. Obviously I work in a team when we're making television programmes, but I'm not really talking to them. I'm hoping to talk to hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people when the programmes are transmitted, but they're not there. And it's not like being on stage in a theatre where you get a sense of involvement with that audience. Same as writing, I wrote that in the memoir in hotel rooms, on planes and trains and all sorts of places. So now it's been read by people. To be actually able to interact with them and gauge their reaction to it makes it more tangible, makes it more real. So from that point of view, I see it as important to come and meet people face to face and talk about the things that you're interested in creatively. The atmosphere here is fantastic. There's a lot of excitement. There are numerous young people here, all clutching books, which heartens me greatly. I don't mind seeing them with a tablet. It's the modern age. They can learn from that. But if festivals like this can instill a love of learning in young people, that means that they will read and learn, acquire knowledge, and that will give them a greater context to understand their place and role in the world. And then things get better and better. So if a handful of kids come in here today and buy a book that they love and they read for the rest of their lives, then all of this has been for one great purpose. So the atmosphere is fantastic. The highlight of the festival so far was at the end of my talk this morning about Amazing Animal Journeys, book about migration. I'd asked for questions from the audience, and the very last question came from a young lady who said, "How are giraffes born?" And I loved that, because when I got up at 5 o'clock this morning, pushed the poodles off the bed and went to get on an aircraft to get here, the last thing I thought I'd be asked about was how giraffes are born. So I enjoyed the challenge. I was able to answer it. I'd seen a giraffe being born on an occasion. And it's the unpredictable nature, particularly when you're working with young people, of what they're going to ask, and then the challenge of coming up with a comprehensible, sensible answer, which I hope I did. I did give a rather graphic description of giraffe birth. Up until this year, I'd only ever been to one book festival, and I'd arrived horribly late due to traffic. I hate being late, so I was very, very stressed, and I didn't enjoy the experience. This year I've been to several festivals, and I think they are very much, I've learned, a melting pot of ideas and enthusiasm and passion. It's not just about the books, it's about the people that come, it's about other creative aspects. Some of them had music and arts and all sorts of things. And so every one of them, there's been a sense of joyous involvement and a shared desire to think about things which people are keen to create. I like that. So yes, I imagine I will be going back to festivals. The thing is, when I've been working as I am today, I get very little time to actually enjoy another aspect. So I'd like to sneak back with a beard and hat and nothing to do with any books I'd written, so that I can actually enjoy learning from other people.
I've just been to see Chris Packham talking about his memoirs, Fingers in the Sparkle Jar, and it was excellent. It was very good, very articulate about all the different challenges he's faced and the challenges that we're facing in the natural world at the moment. So it was spot on. I'm an Edinburgh local, so it's always nice to, when this pops up, and to pop in and just sit and then to get all the authors in and the chance to hear them speaking more in depth and answering questions is great. It's a world-class event, and I think many other events have followed this, and it's wonderful just to have access to so many authors, really, and such a wide variety on my doorstep. It's brilliant.
It was absolutely fascinatingly fabulous. Really enjoyed it. Oh, it's always just amazing, and a really nice place to even just come in and sit for a while, especially when it's sunny, and just enjoy the atmosphere, even if you haven't got a show to go to. Something really good.
I've just been to see Chris Packham. Absolutely fascinating, because there are people who He talks about people being polarised by certain creatures, but I think people are also polarised opinion about Chris Packham. He's very focused, very enthusiastic, and that's one thing that I like about him. And his book, which my friend had bought quite some time ago, I hadn't, not until today. I bought it, I went outside, started reading it. I was not expecting it to be just as it was. It was so beautifully written, so full of wonderful language that it came as a real surprise. Really enjoyed his honesty in his answering the questions. He really comes across as a genuine person, someone who, well, I certainly feel it was worth coming tonight. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a joy to see the people whose books you read, and it's just lovely to put personalities to those names on the covers.
I got to see him in real life, obviously, and got my book signed. Got to meet him after it. Yeah, it was really fun. I asked him if he had been to any hides, and he said that he had and seen a pine marten, and we talked about how good they were and how interesting that pine martens are. Yeah, it's been really fun because I've never been here before, and I've been able to see it, and I think it's really cool, and I will come back again.